So to start off with, we're going to have a quick review of the platform updates as far as Skillable is concerned in April 2024. Now, for those that are new to this, even though the Lab Developer Workshop is on Skillable Studio, when we review the platform updates, we do go across all of the pillars of Skillable. So that is the TMS, which is our learning management system. We look at Insights, which is our reporting engine. We look at Connect, which is our API integration capabilities. And we look at Studio themselves in terms of sort of new features and things that are in the pipeline or that have been released. Okay, so sometimes there's quite a lot, sometimes there's not much, depending on what we're doing. So if we start off, we're looking at the Skillable TMS, really specific use case here. It's possible this doesn't apply to anybody that's on here, but it's just important. We had a workflow process issue. So some of you might or might not be aware, we have something called Skillable Marketplace. So Skillable Marketplace is a tool where customers can put their labs and have other people buy them. So it's actually a format where you can use to sort of get your lab sold and things. And Microsoft use this for selling their official curriculum courseware to certain organizations. And basically it works around a vouchering process. And we had basically a bug in the voucher process if the vouchers weren't used. But that's been fixed. So really minor. And that's the only thing that's really happened with the Skillable TMS over the last month. Skillable Insights, on the other hand, has been a lot more progress in terms of updates. Two really, really important reports. So first thing is, I am conscious that not all customers have access to Skillable Insights. If you're not familiar with Skillable Insights, it's our Power BI reporting dashboard platform where we post reports for customers so they can get a deeper insight into the labs and the components they're running with us. So first and foremost, if you're not an Insights customer and you'd like to find out about Insights, get onboarded, those sort of things, the first thing is if you just want to find out about it, just reach out to us. And we did a Lab Developer Workshop on Insights back in November. Okay, so you can use that, watch the recording, see what it's about. And then if you want to get involved, just reach out to your account exec, your customer success manager, or even contact support and say, yeah, actually, we don't have Insights. Can we have Insights, please? Okay, and we'll then get that organized for you. We'll get you onboarded and you'll get access to it. But we've actually released a couple of new reports. Okay, so the first report is the lab activities report. So this is actually going to allow you to sort of do a deep dive in activities and activity results data so you can sort of see what's going on with your environment. So this is a really useful add-on, especially sort of quite connected to what we're going to be talking about today. So this is going to allow you to do things like analyze average pass rates. It's going to allow you to find out, are there particular questions everybody's getting right, everybody's getting wrong, how long are users spending in the labs and all those sorts of things. So if you're doing certainly that that lab experience that has got activities in for knowledge validation or skills validation, then ultimately this report's for you. It's not enabled by default for any Insights customer. Again, you do have to reach out to your account exec or customer success manager or even support and say, can I have access to the lab activities report? Okay, and then we can sort of turn that report on for you. Okay, so that's the first one. And the second one I'm really sort of excited about, really, because last month's Lab Developer Workshop, okay, we talked about bug reporting and we talked about lab evaluations in Studio. And one of the things that I sort of said at the end of that was, I'm really hoping that we can drive the Insights team to build a dashboard for doing evaluation analysis. And they've done it. Okay, so they've actually gone and built a dashboard for us in Insights that if you are using the lab evaluations that are part of Skillable Studio at the end of your labs, we now have a reporting engine which is going to allow you to sort of drill down and really analyze that data. Okay, so I'm really chuffed that I was able to bring this to you as soon as I have done. Okay, so that's from my point of view, that's really great because that really joins that dot from last month when we talked about this feature and capability. The last thing is, first and foremost, is to talk about instruction localization with artificial intelligence, or instruction translation with artificial intelligence. So we've been talking about this for a little bit. We now have this technology in our platform. Okay, so the idea is you can take an instruction set and you can clone it. Well, you've always been able to do that, but now you can ask the system to translate it into one of the languages we support as well. Okay, this is currently in closed beta. Okay, if you'd like to get involved, reach out to your customer success manager, reach out to your account exec, and have a conversation with them and say, I'd love to get involved with this feature. Now, it is closed beta, and in reality, we might even say it's alpha. Okay, it's not perfect yet. I'm not going to sit here and say that it is. It's got work to be doing. I'm actually going to show you where some work still needs to be done. Okay, so I just want to demonstrate this feature to you, and just sort of see, so you can see what it's like. If you want to put some feedback into the chat or something along those lines, you are more than welcome to. So I just need to go get my browser. Okay, so I've got a lab here. Okay, I'm just going to edit the instructions. Okay, and you can see sort of classic lab. It's got some instructions. They're in English. Great, brilliant. Okay, as it is as it is. Okay, so if I go into the instruction sets and go to manage instruction sets, one of the things we've always been able to do is clone instruction sets. So I can effectively take that instruction set and I can copy it. And the idea is I could copy it to another language, and then I'm going to manually translate it, or I might create a different variant. So imagine like different levels, so like an easy, a medium, or an intermediate, and an expert type thing. But now when I hit the clone, as well as all those options, I can also choose to generate an AI translation. And when I hit the tick box, the system will then give me the ability to select any combination of all of the other languages that we natively support on Skillable Studio. So I'm just going to go and pick the lot, okay, because I'm like that, okay. One thing, just in case some of you are unaware of this, we now have the sort of Arabic support. So something else, just in case you're not aware, that we're now supporting Arabic as a language as well. So when I press OK, what the system's going to do is it's first of all going to prompt me and say, ultimately, yep, cool, no problems, we'll go and do this for you. But it's, hi Daniel, yeah, actually we've got a couple of customers that would like Italian support. So ultimately, I think we've got a new feature feedback request on that. I'll try and dig it out and maybe get you to upvote it and things. But I think Italian should be something, we're getting close. We're going to be adding to our roadmap pretty soon, definitely. So why with an automatic translation, obviously this is going to go out, send the instructions to OpenAI. It's going to translate them. It's going to bring them back. We bring back instructions in a disabled format because ultimately you've got to go validate them. AI translation is not perfect. Okay, so ultimately, it's maybe, if we're just talking normal language, it's maybe somewhere between 75 and 80% now. Okay, for our platform, it's not quite as much, but we'll get to why that is in a moment. So it would be recommended that you go and validate the quality of these. Yeah, no problems. Perfect. Thank you, Daniel. I'll do some chasing up, especially around Italian, because I know we've got a couple of customers that want Italian. So let's just hit continue here. So you'll see the icon that we've got here. Okay, so this basically tells us the translation is actually as part of the sort of in progress. Okay, that's what the little clock icon means. In here, you could also get like an X, a red X, so the translation failed for some reason. Okay, or you can just sort of get the icon on its own to say that the translation's basically been complete, and you get a little green tick against that. Great question there, Leslie. It's API only. No support for instruction sets over LTI at this time. So if I now press OK, effectively, that's actually the point that we send the request off. Okay, so actually, if I now go back in and manage the instruction sets, you can actually see they all come back with their green ticks telling me that they've all been translated. Okay, so at this point, I can choose to enable them, and I can then get the prompt warning just saying you still got to check these for accuracy. And then at that point, I could then, of course, go off and validate the content. Okay, and then I can update my API integration or whatever to sort of bring them online. So at this point, if I now just press OK, obviously this is my English instructions. If I now go and choose one of those other languages, like the Spanish, you'll see that in our live preview, the whole client gets rendered in Spanish. Okay, and then obviously all the content has been changed into Spanish, but not perfectly. Okay, and I'll explain a sort of couple of things why. Just before we do that, I'm just going to jump across just to show you. Here's the Arabic version, just in case anybody was interested. So again, obviously that sort of Arabic support and things we've got there. Okay, so we are still training the AI. Okay, so that's why it's a bit of a closed beta, because we know we've still got things that we've got to train. We was hoping to have some more stuff trained by now, but we haven't, and I'll explain why that is in a moment. So, for example, okay, those that attended the lab developer workshop not last month, the month before, we looked at using like repeatable blocks of text. So this is a repeatable block of text. So this is meant to actually be putting a table in here. So what you can actually see is it's gone and translated the text that was in here, which it shouldn't have done. It's also gone and translated the command that puts the replaceable block of text in. So this technically should say instructions. Okay, and this piece of text up here should say page header. Okay, so it matches the name in the brackets. Okay, and then the table appears. Okay, so you can see there's been actually some things that we've translated that we shouldn't have changed. If I move on, you can see things like it's actually gone and translated the image tag. Okay. Yeah. So in this case, I need to come in here and I need to just sort of fix the image tag. So again, remove the space and actually just put image in here and remove the translation and the graphic appears. And again, like it's not got the, so the text it's translating, it's doing a pretty good job. It's doing about, getting about 80%, as Austin mentions there. We're still fine tuning the skillable bits. So effectively, it doesn't translate those sort of control codes. Now, some of them it doesn't, some of them it still does. So as you can see here, okay. So we're getting there. It's getting closer. We was hoping it to be a bit closer, but now, this will get fine tuned over the next month to 6 weeks. Okay. So I said I was hoping to be a bit closer by now, and we're not. Why is that? Well, the main reason is we're currently under code freeze. Okay, so that's the main reason. So just in case you wasn't aware, effectively there's no updates anymore in the Skillable Studio from a couple of weeks ago right through to the 2nd of May. We have a couple of large events, and one of the things we've agreed with the customers, and it's things that we do for customers. When they're doing things like big events, which are really high profile and things, we will put our platform under code freeze unless there's some sort of emergency hotfix or anything along those lines. Okay, so so that's why basically we've not done any updating work to get those extra bits in that we want. So there will be an update to the platform on the 2nd of May. Okay, once we come out of code freeze, just so you're aware. So there's a whole load of stuff queuing up. So hopefully, that's really starting to show that, we're getting close with this. It's going to be something we're going to enable for customers in the not too distant future. And hopefully it's a feature that you're really interested in and you think there might be a whole lot of value there. Great couple of things. I'm going to take away, obviously, Daniel's request for Russian and Italian. And actually, one of the things I will reach out, Leslie, I'll speak to our Connect team and see if there's any way that potentially instruction sets could be enabled across LTI. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not detailed enough about how the LTI integrations work, whether that would be an option that would be selectable and things along those lines. But I will certainly reach out and put that on the Connect team's awareness. Thank you for that. That's brilliant. Love those little bits of feedback. But as I say, if you want to get involved, reach out to us. Okay. As we do release features, just those that are unaware, we do have a release notes website, so skillable.com/release notes, where you can actually find out what's been released in the recent code pushes. Okay, so please feel free to sort of bookmark that, keep up to date with it, because unless we're in code freeze like we are now, we do generally update the platform every 2 weeks.